Style takes too long. I can't fit anything. I have nothing in this closet. Oh, I'll just stay home. I need to purge my closet. Oh, but not that dress. Yo, Taylor here. If you ever thought to say one of these phrases, then this show is for you. Join me at the Style Table where we'll have candid and fun conversations about real women's style issues and wardrobe dilemmas. We will discuss solutions and ideas that will give you a big sigh of relief. You'll learn ways to save money, make money, and enrich the lives of others with the clothes in your closet. We're going to take the stress out of your style. Hey everybody, it is Yo on the Go back here at the Style Table. And today my special guest is Ritu G. Chopra. She is the CEO and Madam President of Leadership Consulting Services, LLC. She's going to talk to us about her business, and then we're going to talk about her style and how she wants to make sure that she shows off her personal, individual style as a part of her branding. Ritu, welcome to the show.
Yo, thank you for having me. So pleased to be at your show.
So your leadership consulting services is an international business. You're scaling this in a way that's international. So you will be dealing with lots of, is it just women or women and men, or what kind of services do you offer and how are you expanding it internationally?
So the coaching retreat programs are designed for women, especially mid-career women, because I think that is an area that I feel there's a lot of growth happening. Not only they are raising their children, raising a family, at the same time they're rising in their professional careers, etc. So there's a lot to balance. It takes a lot, and so over the years, being 2 decades in Fortune 500 companies, I myself had multiple challenges. Being in IT, being in a consultant, there's very few women. And to be able to present that confidence and to be able to deliver and to earn the support of your peers and senior management, it takes a lot, right? To bring that in while you're being pulled in many different directions. And we, as women in our DNA, universe is calling us, and we kind of go from one room to another and have maybe 10 stops. So that's the kind of nature there is, that we absorb everything towards us and invite everything to us. So how to be very focused and how to be able to manage. And while you're with the family, focus on family. And when you are at work, and that's a very difficult balance, easy to say than done. So my program, as you asked, are they international? Yes, they are. And there's a big reason behind it. And are they just for women? I would say focus is toward women, but men are welcome. To me, we, men and women, are part of the society. We are, of course, breaking glass ceilings. We are out there contributing to the economy, but we couldn't do without the support of our counterparts. So I bring that collaboration piece into it. So, and I think presence of men would help women even more to hear their side of the story, where someone in my position is being that bridge.
Exactly, because if you're especially in an industry where there's very few women, sometimes men need to be in an arena like you would if you did you did a public speaking event and you're talking to mainly women, but you would want some men in there so they can really hear from women as to what it means to be sitting in that room after they've done everything, taken care of everybody, plus have to work and then have to sometimes not feel like they're being treated equally. So men need to hear, sometimes need to hear a different, something from a different point of view. Pardon me.
Absolutely. And I think when it comes in that there's a competition, or there is competition, not that competing for a certain job or something, competition to get your point across, right? So everyone
Right.
is standing on their side and just making, hoping that other person would understand, or just do it. So stepping away from that kind of in a mindset and really be in the listening, and that takes a little effort, and just step away from your tunnel vision for a moment and hear yourself, and then just try to come in from other people's perspective and being heard for both sides. I find
Yes.
it where I have been, you need to bring that strategy, and you need to bring that kind of confidence so the other side can hear you out. When they give you attention, the support is always there, but it's just that the journey to get there on that side, that's the hardest part. It's not difficult, but it's a little bit hard because in the moment of getting things done, it's always rush, 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 deadlines, and over time, those feelings of rejection and those feelings of they're not going to hear me anyway. And when we talk about employee engagement, it's all about everybody being involved, regardless of your gender,
Right.
regardless of your gender. So to me,
Yeah.
I see that as a big part of it. Having those open dialogues
Yeah.
and conversations.
Now, your services, of course, you're going to do public speaking and write books and all those great things, but you also have retreats. Can you tell us a little
Yes,
bit about
yes.
those?
Those retreats, international retreats. So this year, in the fall, I'm planning two destinations. To me, I find myself, I see, by the way, when I was 9 years old, I read the story of Cinderella in my native language in a Sunday newspaper in children's section. Ever since, I had been fascinating with other cultures. So over the years, being in IT, I worked with pretty much so many different people from different walks of life, and backgrounds, cultural backgrounds, and stuff. So I find it fascinating. I think the cultural histories teach us so much. Um, when you step away from your norm for a moment and you see how other people live, how other people resolve their social issues, their other issues, how do they, what they have achieved, how did they achieve it? And my programs are designed to bring in a lot of those kind of learning lessons into them. And I spent a lot of time learning about those cultural aspects and how does that fit into our day-to-day business life, right? So if you're a good problem solver in general, it doesn't matter where the problem is coming from. You kind of find ways to step up to the plate. You kind of find ways to resolve those issues, work with people. And similarly, programs that I have developed, it's not only tapping into the business mindsets, but also you're working across your business partners, your outsourced vendors are all over the world,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, how things are important to them, yes, you could communicate via emails, uh, but once you connect on a human level, it changes the dynamics. You get that engagement, you get that participation. So, without that, it's just a dry email.
You have to make sure that I like the idea of you're talking about cross cultural communications because people, you are going to have your colleagues, but you're also going to be dealing with your vendors, your
Yes.
clients, your customers, other people. You have to be able to communicate with them and deal with them in a way that's respectful. I remember being a flight attendant for 31 years. I remember the extensive and constant cultural training, so we're prepared to deal with our international customers
Yes.
and knowing what's respectful and what is not respectful
Yes.
and how we address, because you never know what's offensive to someone
Yes.
and what's not, and that includes your dress, how you show up and how you're dressed. You can go to different countries, your company sends you to a different country. You need to make sure that you go to the read the State Department's
Yeah.
and also your company's internal information, corporate information, to make sure that when you go there, you're dressed appropriately and
Yes.
respectful of that
Yes.
culture.
And dress, you touched a very important part. um, Presentation, especially if you are on work. You know, yes, business attire is welcome in all corporate offices, but there are still certain norms. And if someone from United States going into some other country, and if they took little extra effort to present that, it's a welcome sign. It's not that
Hmm.
they would not be welcome if they had their usual attire. It's not that, but just going extra mile, it just shows that yes, you matter to us. Whatever
Hmm.
your culture is, whatever your norms are, we respect that. Just that little effort means a lot to people.
Yeah, I always say that you should not just tolerate other people, but respect other
Yes.
people, respect the differences. And when you're, especially if you are a person that is in leadership or is aspiring to be a leader and being in your program, one of the things I'm sure you will be telling them is that you need to not only respect the other people around you, but respect the person who invited you to speak and present.
Yes. And
Respect the audience that's there to listen to you as the expert.
absolutely is the key of any relationship. People are going to have difference of opinions. Not everyone is going to agree with everything you have to say, and you have to be ready to take that as well, and just listen to their concerns. If they don't agree, maybe they have a good reason, right? So being
Hmm.
open to that and create those dialogues,
Yeah.
you can resolve a lot of this anguish and anger and other heightened emotions sometimes people have about certain ideas or something, and they don't have a platform, so it ends up in the social media. Well, other way to look at it, create that platform, open up the dialogues, and just respect each other's opinion and just be able to communicate in such a way that touch that human being on the other side.
That is a perfect way to end this first segment. When we come back, we are going to speak with Ritu about, I'd like to continue that conversation about social media and how you're showing up even internationally, and especially if you're showing up as a leader. We're also going to talk to her about her style
Thank you.
and how it affects her business and her brand and how she wants to show up.
Thank you.
Hey everybody, it's Yona Go. I am back here with Ritu Chopra, and she is going to talk to us about we're continuing our conversation about social media, how it affects people internationally, how it affects leadership, and we're going to talk to her about her personal style. Welcome back, Ritu.
Thank you.
So, first off, let's finish that conversation about social media and how leaders show up in social media and how what they say or how they present themselves can affect their business.
Okay, so I want to take this opportunity that my new book that I'm writing is Women Leadership in the 21st Century, Raising and Creating Leaders of Tomorrow. And my approach in this book is holistic approach for leadership. I believe that leadership is not just a corporate titles. Men, women, regardless their educational background, regardless what they do, is an opportunity for us to live our lives and take those moments when there is an opportunity to implement those leadership qualities. And women, especially, in last 2 decades, the business and landscape of business and household structures have changed drastically. Women are breaking glass ceilings in a high careers, high demanding careers, etc. So that takes toll on them. But at the same time, we have to come home and be the mom and the wife and everything else that expected of
Mm-hmm.
us, and it takes toll. So where do we find the balance? So I always see that the strength that we have, sometimes we don't recognize it ourselves. So
Right.
my take is that it's just not a title that entitles us to say we are a leader. And leader can be anywhere. And especially when we are raising leaders of tomorrow, the type of qualities that we have to have in ourselves. And that is somewhere the foundation of my programs as well. And just to bring in that type of assertiveness, that confidence, self love, care. Um, if we women are notorious of like taking care of everybody else, but there's not enough time for ourselves. And I have been one of
Mm-hmm.
them. So time comes that when you realize it, when it becomes always giving, 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 we need to take something, or give ourselves too. And taking that conversation to how to show up, be kind, be kind to others, be kind to ourselves, be respectful to others, and have that same sort of respect for ourselves that I'm a human being. I can make mistakes, I can learn
Mm-hmm.
from them. I still, despite what happens, I am still a human being. There's an always learning opportunity. So, touch that, the inner person. And I think when we start strengthening our core, all the muscles outside will strengthen up too. It's the core muscle
Yeah,
we have to.
I think it's so important. One of the things you were saying, many of the things you were saying, as far as women being leaders and raising leaders. Um, there's so many things I'm learning, like 70% of women globally are managing the household income. They're managing the household income budget. They're handling the finances. And women businesses are generating one point, well, not just businesses, but just women are contributing globally $1.8 trillion.
Yes. Yes.
$1.8 trillion dollars in the global economy. So, yes, we are leaders.
Yes.
And that includes the mother at who's at home but has a little small side business.
Yes.
She's also managing household income. She's also helping to raise the children to be leaders and good
Good
citizens
citizens.
on top of everything else,
Yes. And it's not,
and being a support to the community.
Absolutely. Women contribute to the economy tremendously, right? So, and at the same time, our job is not just finished. And beauty, grace, patience, so much else is expected of us, right? And to
Exactly.
give all of that to others, so we need to take care of ourselves. And like I said, I had been guilty myself of not taking care of myself. So I am at that stage where I am able to help others, mentor young women, and just see the bright side of the life. And so of life is giving ourselves an opportunity. And
Hmm.
it takes a very difficult decision making process. uh, if we want to take a look at what's really important to me, we may have a wish
Hmm.
list, we may have so many dreams, but I can't do it. I have to pay for college, I have to pay for this and that. I'm not there yet. So during COVID, we have seen life is so fragile. I'm
Hmm.
not suggesting that people leave and just go fulfilling their bucket list and flying around the world or doing things that without any planning. But I'm saying that life is fragile. There is something that we need to add little bit at a time to give
Hmm.
ourselves a little pat on the back and see that
Yeah.
we are leaders so at so many different occasions that we have not acknowledged to ourselves.
And speaking of self care and taking care of ourselves, I view wardrobe styling as a part of self care. Taking the time to making sure that you reduce the stress in your life without wondering what should I wear. And that's what I'm approaching this in a different way because I see it as a part of your self-care. Taking care of yourself, putting yourself first because you're worried about everybody else. Let somebody else worry about what you're going to wear
Yes, yes.
and how to organize your style and your um, look. Now, speaking of which, you said you have a certain way that you like to present yourself to your clients and just how you want to show up for yourself.
Absolutely. I think that's like styles are really personal. But when you
Hmm.
see in a business world, I think I got bored with business suits, neutral colors, and nothing wrong with that. But I am at a stage where what I do should reflect not only my own personality, but the combination of that, the professionalism at the same time, colors are so important to me. I see them when you add color, you're adding zest to life. So
Hmm.
I, like to now, I would like to have maybe subtle professional look at the same time add colors, you
Hmm.
know, and feminine.
Hmm.
So bring uh, beauty part of it into clothing,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
It reflects that subtleness, the pastels, or maybe pure hue once in a while. Just blend in nature and be there and stand out.
Exactly. It brings life and energy to you and it brings life and energy to the people who see you and come in contact with you, especially if you feel really confident in what you're wearing. That confidence walks in the room with you, that energy and that life and light walks in with you.
I think, especially for women, no matter how casual we think that is okay, I think there's certain expectation. You know, if women is too casual, she might be seen as sloppy,
Hmm.
right? Especially in a business
Yeah.
settings, right?
Yeah.
So, But it doesn't matter. A man can be in a polo shirt or in a t-shirt or something or a sweater, and nobody would even pay attention to that, right?
Right.
But if women are seen too casual, I think somehow I have observed that they're not taken seriously,
Right. Right.
right? You don't have,
And
yeah, you don't have to
it's
have five
2022. You
necks.
would right, right, because it's 2022, and you would think that we're so past all that, but it is what it is.
Mhm.
It has not changed. And how we show up is more of a factor than how they show up.
Yes, yes. And I'm not
So
trying
that's why
to
we
compete. And I don't say that, you have to go out of your way and have brand name clothes. It can be affordable,
no,
but it's the presentation.
it is.
If you are in a business where it has to do something with, say, hospitality industry or something with products, etc., or a service, so it has to be something appropriate. That's how
Yes.
I feel.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be comfortable. You don't
Mm-hmm.
want to be that in an outfit that's just you're suffocating in it, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
not your style. So it's going to take some effort. That's why I know what you're doing. I love it because that's the finding your inner self into what you want to reflect outside.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When I work with my clients, I make sure that their individual style and their taste is still shown, that they can still see themselves. I'm not trying to make
Mhm.
little mini me's, I'm trying to embrace their style. Everybody has a sense of style.
Yes,
Everybody knows how to dress for the most part. It's just that some people don't have the time or the energy, or they've given up, or they have forgotten their inner diva,
yes.
or their inner self. And
We
they've
have
been
been there.
so busy and caught up in life that you forget kids come and like you said, women, we put ourselves last so many times. And now's the time to, you know, invest in a leadership consultant and invest in yourself and invest in your wardrobe and work with people who will help give you back your sense of self,
Yes,
help you be a better listener, also help you look good at the same time.
absolutely. Pull out that nice jacket or a dress, and just even if there is no special occasion, just have the dress on, have a glass of wine, and just be yourself.
That's right. Just put on take a day for just tell everybody I'm putting the do not disturb sign on.
Yes,
I'm going out. I'm wearing my favorite outfit. I'm going to just go have a free day just for myself.
yes, yes,
I think it's so refreshing, gives you time to really think about what you want for yourself and what you want to do and what goals you want to accomplish, and
yes.
or just how you want to set your children in a better direction or whatever it could be, you know. So, I thank you so much for spending time with us
Thank you
today.
so much. It was lovely having this conversation and sharing my ideas with your audience.
Yes, yes. And speaking of which, can you tell us how we can get in contact with you?
I think the best way to connect with me would be LinkedIn, through LinkedIn resources and my website also. But LinkedIn would be the best way to connect with me. And social medias, yes, people can find me there. However, right now I am not as active sometime on social media to respond right away. So watch out.
But they can find but they can find you on LinkedIn
Absolutely.
for your services.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. LinkedIn would take them to my website, and they can see all of the upcoming.
And what is that website?
Oh, rituchopra.com. My first name, last name.
Okay, that's exactly what we needed to hear so we can connect with you directly. You guys know how to reach me, Yo Taylor, at thestyletable.com. I'm on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. I'm at the Style Table LLC on YouTube. See you next time. Bye bye.